Hey, welcome again. I am back. I am Alviana Brewster, the CEO of Black Nurse Entrepreneurs, the premier organization for Black nurses who are interested in launching, building, and growing his or her entrepreneurial endeavor worldwide. And I just wanted to recap. I always come to you on Saturdays just to give you some information that will help you to launch, build, and grow your business because that's what we do here in BNE. So, real quickly, January, all about financial health. February was all about Black excellence. The month of March, all about community building. So today, I will be talking to you about the tools that you will need in order to build, grow, expound upon, make better your fantastic community that you're going to have, right? All right, so let's dive into it. So, the good thing about the tools necessary for building a wonderful and amazing community, a lot of those tools are very similar to actually what you use in your day-to-day business, just running your business. And the good part about it is a lot of these tools nowadays integrate. Now, I will say this, there are some specific tools to help you to, or let's say it like this, there are some specific tools that are specific to group building that integrate with a lot of your tools that you use on a day-to-day basis. So I love that nowadays because when I first started doing B&E 8 years ago, a lot of the stuff I had to do manually. So as soon as somebody came into the community, well, let me even say this. When I first started B&E, the little questions that you have at the beginning of a Facebook community, they weren't there. So once they started having those questions, and I would use one of the questions to get people's email addresses, I literally had to copy and paste. And then it got to where I had hired one of my assistants, and my assistant was copying and pasting the information over. Then I got my very first group specific type of tool that helped me to, as soon as I approved somebody, it would copy the email. But the problem was that my email, my current, or at the time, the email marketing system that I had did not integrate with the group tool or software. So we still had to upload those emails to a like a Google sheet or Excel sheet, and then we would have to transfer them over. Nowadays, I've grown up, okay? I've grown all the way up. And now with a click of a button, several things happen, from DMs being sent, people being tagged in welcome posts, to people being added to a specific email list. Depending on how they answer questions, they get added to a list that triggers a bunch of email sequences. It's a whole network in the background. And that helps me to be able to manage my community. And this is what I want for you. So just to give you an idea, your CRMs, your email marketing, your text messages and stuff like that you use for your day-to-day business functionality can now be integrated with a lot of group processes or a lot of groups. You can do this through Zapier. Sometimes these softwares integrate together, or there's just a lot of processes that you can slow down on having to do manually with a lot of the integrations that are there nowadays. So that is really, really good. One of the things that I do suggest that you do is, in the very beginning of creating your group, or if you're getting ready to expand your group, just create a mind map and just make sure that you have an idea of what the structure of the group will look like, or the process. When a person enters in your group, what's going to happen? How do you keep them engaged throughout? Even if there's an offboarding process, what does that look like? And that way you'll know what type of tools that you need, and you can see if they integrate, okay? So create your mind map, share with your teams, or collaborate with your team, so everybody knows and everybody's on the same page on the process for how you build your community, really. Welcome sequence. So that welcome sequence I was talking about, as soon as a person enters into community, what types of things do you want to immediately happen? One of my mentors a couple of years ago says, you're super high touch with people, but some of this we can automate so that it still looks like you're very high touch, but you're not having to physically do everything every single time. You don't have to physically send all the emails, all the DMs, all the posts, all the texts and stuff like that. This can be a very integrated process. And the cool thing about it is, with the way AI is now, you can integrate AI and make it even a little bit more personalized, because AI is smart enough to analyze it and personalize it for you. So what does that welcome sequence look like? As soon as a person enters into your community, are they immediately welcome? Are they tagged into something? Are they gifted a freebie access? Do you want to point them to a specific area, maybe an area where maybe you have courses or free resources? Do you want them to immediately be pointed to that area? Are there DMs that they specifically need to get? What do you want to do in the very first minutes of a person entering into your community, and how do you appear warm and welcoming to them? Okay, how do you invite them? How do they feel connected to you immediately as soon as they get in? Okay, another thing is, like I said, Facebook in the very beginning did not have a way to collect emails. They do now, and you can even collect phone numbers and stuff nowadays. And so one thing I would suggest to you is not only just to collect them, but put them somewhere and actually use them to your benefit. And so make sure that your CRM system is connected or integrated with this process. You can specifically tag people depending on how they answer specific questions or what their interactions are. You could tag them and give them very tailored and specific content, which is something that I incredibly love to do. It used to be everybody got the same email, same welcome DM. Now we're very strategic. Depending on how they answer certain questions, they get certain forms of information. And that's what I really love, because it's very personalized to that person. But you want to make sure that you're collecting this information, saving it into your CRM system, and being able to utilize it later on moving forward, whether it's sending out specific content or inviting people to a specific class or something like that. You want to make sure that you're capturing that data. Discussion forums. So within your community, how will you discuss? How will you create engagement and topics and stuff like that? Do you have a place where people can freely comment or freely post? If you're obviously in a Facebook group, that makes it easy. But maybe your community's on Slack, or maybe your community's on Discord or School or some of the other community building tools. Circle is one. So how will you foster these discussions? Where will these discussions be had? What do they look like? How will you moderate them? Things like that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to. Also, calendar of events. You will probably be having events for your community. So you want to make sure that you have a place where it's easy for them to go and see what's coming up next, and be able maybe even to opt into coming or purchase tickets or whatever. If you are having them to purchase tickets, then you also have to think about the tools that are required in order for that. Again, it's very similar to your business. We use different Eventbrite, for instance, or we may use just a Stripe link or something like that. Whatever you're using for tickets, Thrivecart maybe. You can drop those links within your community, but make sure that you have that process put forth and everybody on your team understands it. How about content? How will you go about creating the content? Again, very similar to your regular business, your graphics. Usually most people are using Photoshop and Figma and Canva for their graphics. Same kind of thing. Sometimes people nowadays have AI related graphics. You can use AI software in order to get some of your graphics. The content, your post, the copy for the post, the topics for the post, things like that. Your video creation, audio creation if you have a podcast. What tools do you need? Think about that. What tool do I need to put in place so that I can create this content and even potentially schedule it and get it out there to my audience very quickly? How about tools for feedback and surveys? You want to always understand maybe what your audience needs, desires, and wants. So have tools that help them to opt in and answer questions and stuff, but you still are able to collect not only their information, but also the data, the analytical data that you need in order to help to serve them at the highest level. And then how about project management and communication tools? Specifically for your team, you want to be able to communicate with them, everybody be on the same page, but also project management. Like maybe you are launching an event, an online or in-person event. You want to be able to map that thing out and strategically plan how you will go into your community to promote and advertise this, what type of content, on what day, what type of activity, those types of things are super important as you're building out your community. So, oh, one last thing. I failed to mention one. Analytical tools. You want to make sure that you have a form of an analytical tool in place so that you can really understand the behaviors and the activity of your community. Facebook groups are really good because you can go and look and see what days, what times people were highly engaged, what types of content they engaged on, who was engaged when, stuff like that. So you want to be able to understand that data so that you can serve at the highest level. Continue to serve your audience and understand what their needs and wants and desires are. Okay, does that make sense? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Drop that in the comments and let me know if this is really resonating with you. It's not hard. The cool thing about it is it's not hard. I think really majority of these things you're already using in your business. You just may have to think about it differently when it comes to community building. The other thing is nowadays we have community specific software and tools that will help us to grow and build our community. So that's the unique part about it. And those software, those tools or software sometimes will integrate, and that's what we love. We like stuff that integrates together because we want to do one action and then a chain of reactions happens. We really like that. Okay, trust me, coming from someone who used to have to do everything by hand, one by one, you're gonna like it whenever you can automate this stuff and just use those tools that you've been using, but you have to think about it maybe a little bit differently as you're building your community out. Okay, so I hope that blesses your soul and your spirit. Do not be intimidated by the software and the tools. There is help. If you need me to help you, or there's some other members in B&E that are very tech savvy that do not mind helping you with this process. So let us know if you need help. Okay, I do not dare leave us without inviting you to B&E Elite membership. It is our exclusive membership for B&E where we enjoy all things. We really get together and collaborate, hold each other accountable. We are visible. We get to advertise, discounts, exclusive discussions, things like that. All things B&E Elite membership. So I invite you to join us. Check out our website, blacknurseentrepreneurs.org. There's more details there for you. Hey, listen, thank you for joining me. Thank you for paying attention. I hope this has blessed you. Again, not super hard. Just sometimes we have to think about the tools that we already have and how we can utilize them or capitalize on their capabilities within our community so that we help to grow and build our community to this astronomical thing called community building. This is what we love to do. Okay. Much love to you. I hope that this served you well. Let me know in the comments. Okay.